First, we must acknowledge our deep regret and sorrow at the loss of another human life. Every life is precious, and yet in our nation we continue to revisit the debate about African Americans losing their lives at the hands of police officers. There's a certain frustration and grief we all share at the loss of another young African American male. We are saddened by the loss of the life of Mr. McDowell. There's a need for us to seek true justice in the shooting of Mr. McDowell. With the preponderance of these cases around the country, we certainly need to get this right. We will not rush to judgment. We will not rush to judgment. But we must hold our law enforcement officials and civic leaders to a high standard of justice. We expect a thorough investigation, and we will await its findings and respond accordingly.
So all incidents are taken seriously when you have people on edge like this. You have a lot of people here who are miffed by this situation. They never want to see this happen. Any time a life is lost, people get very concerned. And, the pastor talked about poverty, and poverty is one of the biggest problems that we have. And, one of the things that you have to do is you have to be honest. You have to be honest, and you have to respect everyone, the family, people that live in the city and in the citizen area as well. But just like the pastor said also, well, I'm going to state that we just can't accept any violence or anything of that nature, and we want peace in our city.
My request for the Center of Disease Control to come into the city in December 13, they evidently saw that there was pandemic issues here in our city, dealing with mental illness, with all the gun violence in our city. We've got a preliminary report in May, and I'm still waiting. And I've gotten response from them that they're almost done. But these last incidents, the Rodney Square incidents, this gentleman in the wheelchair incidents, the capturing of the 19 young people in the so-called gang, that is clear evidence that we have some trauma, mental trauma, that is resulting in violence in our community. And if we don't get a handle on it and resolve those issues, which are being fed through lack of opportunity, through poverty, through inequitable education, like a quality education, there's going to be more incidents like this, and they're going to spring up on us simultaneously, and the only thing the response is going to be to react in a violent way back to that, and that's not the answer. So I'm pleading for us to focus on the root causes of the mental illness and the post-traumatic traumatic syndromes that are continuous, compounding, that our community is plagued with right now. And we don't make any guns, we don't make the drugs, but we're always the victims of the end of that gun.